Hi, everybody. I'm Simon, event manager at PrestaShop. I'm happy to welcome you on the third day of the PrestaShop e-commerce week. I want to thank the sponsor of this speech, Criteo, PayPal, and Big Digital. Without further ado, let's welcome Alexandre Darmon, who will talk about best tips to choose your payment solution with PrestaShop. Hi, Alexandre.
Hello, Simon.
How are you today?
Very nice, very nice. Third day of the PrestaShop e-commerce week. So, what a thrilling week.
Yeah, I love your shirt, by the way. The blue suits you pretty well.
You too. Such a coincidence.
Yeah. So the floor is yours. Good luck with your presentation.
Thank you. Well, so as Simon said, I'm Alex Darmon, lead product manager at PrestaShop on extensions, and today I would like to talk to you about some of the best tips can give you to choose your payment solution for your store with PrestaShop. So the mindset I would like you to be when you're choosing your payment solution or when you're changing your payment solution will be to try to provide the best experience of purchase to your customer in order to boost your conversion or your average order value enough to justify the cost that can be with such a smooth solution, such a smooth payment solution. Before continuing, I would just like to precise that none of the following content has been pushed, created, or validated by any partner or even the store I will quote. I just took examples as I found them relevant, and I will be, if possible, objective and neutral as much as possible. So first, we'll talk about checkout experience, then about payment options. We'll see a bit of pricing because it seems important for any merchant, and then last but not least, the security. So first of all, the checkout experience. This is, from my perspective, the most important for your payment solution because it will be the interface and the experience of the customer. So the first tip I can give you is that if the payment gateway of the solution is a redirection, so redirecting to an external platform, external gateway, make sure to brand it to make it smooth and consistency with the rest of your shop and to avoid bounce by a customer being suspicious about maybe security. That's why the best tip will be for credit card to prefer lightbox or hosted field on your checkout page. For the lightbox, you have here an example where your shop is still present behind the gateway, so your customer can feel his credit card credentials, but still being on the shop, so being pretty comfortable with it and be reassured about the checkout flow is taking. For the hosted fields, the experience I've shown you here on the right would be to host the field of the credit card payments directly on your shop, so it's not even a redirection or pop-up or lightbox, it's directly on your checkout flow. One of the best tips on this field would be to implement the auto-validation of the fields and format of these credit card fields to avoid mistyping. So the four small things to know about this field would be that it must be the same format as it is on the credit card physically. So first, you see on the credit card that you have space every 4 digits, and it will help the customer to read them again and to make sure to make no error when he's typing 16 digits at a time. Also, you could detect automatically the credit card type. For instance, just with a 5434, I can know it's a MasterCard, and I don't have to ask my customer to just tell me the type of card he has. One of the really less known in the e-commerce is that not every credit card number is possible with a credit card. They all follow worldwide a rule which is called the Loon validation, which makes only a few of this combination plausible for a credit card number. So your field could auto-validate that this format is plausible, not say if this exists or not, but it could avoid a lot of mistyping and then error in the checkout experience. And the last thing would be to make the expiry date at the same format as on the credit card, so only 2 digits for the year. Just for information, 53% of the websites don't follow this tip and could therefore provide some misleading or mistyping in the credit card. but your customer is ready to fill in and to pay, so it would be really sad to make him leave right now. Also, if your payment solution asks for the credit card holder name, you should not ask it as a first position, because on the credit card is not on the first position. So we've seen during studies in BEMA Institute that 33% of the customer will put their credit card number in their name field if it's asked in first position. So make sure to follow all these rules, because that could really help your customer avoiding mistyping. Something else, if there is a mistyping, or if there is any error in your with a credit card, if the fundings are not enough, if the threshold of the card has been reached before, there will be an error with the payments. But you have to provide a second chance to your customer. He's willing to pay, he's willing to buy an order from you, so you should provide a second chance, as precise as possible. So to tell if the threshold has been reached, maybe to make it higher, or to change his credit card, and to maybe let him change the option he has from credit card to the other payment option you have on your store. Also, you should announce while shopping to your customers that what payment method will be available at the end of the checkout. That way, the customer can just protect himself in payment, and he will know that he will have his preferred payment method at the end, and he can continue shopping or browsing comfortably. You have here an example on the right. Also, you should customize your payment option with your template, to match with your template, to make it really a smooth experience, and not let being displayed that it's really totally different payment option. For instance, here on the right, on the odabayap.com website, you have 3 different solutions: PayPlug, PayPal, and Stripe. But all 3 have been customized by the store to be one and a single experience, all branded with a template of the rest of the store. It has been seen during studies that the most stores in Spain, Italy, Netherlands are not following the 4 previous tips I gave you. So they're performing the worst in translation, validation, branding of the website. 2 more tips with the checkout experience would be to implement the one-click payment experience. The most well-known, of course, are the PayPal Express Checkout and Amazon Pay. But basically, what it does is to admit that this payment solution will know the name of the customer, their email address, their shipping address, and their payment methods. So why that the customer should put that again on your store by creating an account, by filling all the shipping address and putting his payment method, if PayPal or Amazon or something else already know this, and it could make him save 12 clicks and half of the time of checkout. Just to make you know that PayPal and Amazon Pay together have 260 million accounts worldwide, so it's as much customer that could save half of the checkout time. So that would be a good idea to put it on your store. It could be put on the product page, on the cart page, on the checkout page. As soon as it's displayed, it can favorize the spontaneous purchase and the quick conversion of your website. The last one will be the saving credit card option, which is also called the tokenization or the vaulting of the credit card. Many websites or payment solutions provide this, and it's really a boost for the conversion, because you could save the credit card for your customer for the next time. So the next time will come, you could use this credit card, so save time, and also make sure that his credit card is putting is verified, because it's already been used before, so it could avoid any mistyping or any error with credit card, because we already know it exists. And with that, you could also allow to manage credit card, have several credit cards, change them, delete them, etc. It could participate to the commitment of your customer on your website. Just to make you know, different studies of Apple Pay, for instance, have shown that 60% of the time of checkout is saved with Apple Pay, but a lot of other solutions are providing such a solution as saving credit card, like Google Pay, PayPlug, or Stripe, etc. Concerning the payment option, before giving some tips, I would like just to see together a few lists of preferred payment methods. I just picked 5 different countries of Europe, and we've seen that for France, Italy, or UK, the credit card is the preferred payment method. And we know that 80% of the e-commerce transactions are going through credit card. But as you might see on Belgium and Netherlands, the alternative payment methods dominates mostly the other payment methods up to 88%. It could be bank contact in Belgium, iDeal in Netherlands, or something else in other European countries. So when we know that half of the customer will just quit the store if they don't find their preferred solution, you could lose 50% of 88% of your customer if you don't just provide bank contact or iDeal and selling in these countries. So my first tip, obviously, will be to combine payment solution to provide all the preferred payment solutions that would be expected in the countries you sell in or you have planned to sell in. So to do so, you have two options. The first one would be to go to the add-ons marketplace and look for different local solutions thanks to the local module categories and find the best solution for every country you sell in or you have planned to sell in. But you could also use one payment service provider to do so for you and to gather a lot of payment solutions at one time. For instance, Stripe is providing up to 15 solutions. Molly is providing 16 solutions at the same time. PrestaShop Checkout 10 at the same time, etc. And something which is less known also is that PayPal is known for being the most expensive solution because it's coming with a lot of services as customer or merchant protection, but also it shows the higher conversion rate after selecting that option. So someone selecting PayPal or someone selecting a credit card will have 82% more to finalize his order by choosing PayPal. So even if it's expensive and less than 20% of the transaction will go through PayPal, it's a good solution to implement on your store. But there are also a lot of other payment solutions. For instance, the paying 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, up to 24 times, which is a good solution because 20% of e-commerce transaction will go through that kind of solution or the pay later. So both are a little bit different. You can pay in 2, 3, or 4, 10 times every month, or just buy now and pay in a month the total budget of the total cost of your order. That will allow your customer to plan his budget, to project himself on the money he will receive on the current months, but also it has improved that this option will increase your checkout experience to up to 27%. And also because the customer can just protect himself with his budget, with his own budget, it has improved that the lifetime value or the average order value increase a lot with that kind of solution. Just to know, if you provide 2 different types of this solution, for instance, paying in 3 times and paying in 10 times, 90% of your customer will willingly pay more of extra fees if you get him more time to pay and to have the longest time of debt, even if the extra fee double or triple. So also I can't talk about paying installments, it's called installments, or pay later without quoting Klarna, Alma, Viabil, or Pagentis, which are really good solution implemented with PrestaShop, and you can find a connector on the add-ons marketplace if you want to. And that could be a good solution to combine with your existing solution as also. Let's talk about pricing, which is like a sensitive topic. But before giving you tips about that, I would like to see with you the structure of fees of any payment solution. So just to know, when a customer is going to pay on your solution, it's putting his credit card credentials on a gateway that collects the info, that will give it to the acquirer, that will ask the card network to ask to the bank to approve that transaction, and then go all the way back to give an approval or deny. And because it's going through all these steps and all these actors, every single one of them will take their commission, and that's make the fees higher and higher. So just to let you know, some of the payment service provider will gather different job in this as a gateway and the acquirer at the same time, that it could lower the fees. On top of these fees, you will have probably the cross-border fees if you're selling abroad, the currency exchange fees if you are selling in different currencies, and also services, the customer protection, the merchant protection, or the free returns cost, etc. So it could be really high, and there are two different business models of pricing depending on the solution. For instance, most of the bank model will need a distance selling agreement to be signed between them and you. And with that come an upfront fees of 100 of euros. With that will come monthly fees to pay, and then a pretty low cost fee per transaction and percentage per transaction. That's one kind of business model for payment solution. Nowadays, more and more payment service providers are providing an offer without any monthly fee, and you pay commission only for successful transaction. So it will allow you to implement something without any fees. And when you're starting to sell and to grow, and then you will pay a commission. Of course, these commissions are a bit higher because you don't have any monthly fees, and also with the cost, fixed price per transaction and a percentage per transaction, as you might see here. So, depending on your activity, your volume, the countries you're selling in, the average order value, you should calculate which one could be the most interesting for you and the cheaper for you, on depending on how many payment options you want to provide and your volume, etc. So you must do that before choosing any of the solution. Also, as we mentioned before, as you know, you could negotiate your personal rate if your business is growing bigger and you have a quite important monthly revenue. You could negotiate a personal rate, but to do so earlier or better, you should gather all the payment methods in one solution. That way, you have also one time to negotiate and one service provider to negotiate with on the total volume of revenue you have. And something which is not really on pricing, but just saving some cost, would be to save some cost of your accountant fees. Every month, you have to ask your accountant to make the accountability reconciliation between your account, your bank account, your money account, and your order and invoices. If this linking is pretty easy, so if the invoice displays the order transaction, or if the order transaction displays the order reference, it will be really easy for your accountant to do this reconciliation, and therefore you will save time of the accountant and then money, of course. Concerning security, I have only 3 tips for you about security, but they are really, really important because security is the biggest concern of your customer. You could provide a lot of perfect solution with a lot of good experience, but something which is not reliable and not reassuring, most of the customer will just bounce and just will leave. So you should put as many reassurance elements about the security, about the professionalism of your website anywhere. So you could see here on the header, in the footer, or even on the checkout, on the cart page, you could put reassurance elements. Also, you could use a fraud tool which allow you to reduce your cost of chargeback, of fraud, or disputes, and optimize the conversion rate of your payment transaction. That kind of fraud tool is pretty common in solutions. So Adyen has its own, Stripe has Radar, which is well known, and PayPal and PrestaShop Checkout has the same fraud tool, which is coming from Simility, which has been bought by PayPal a few years ago. And even if your payment solution doesn't provide you a fraud tool, you could ask a standalone one on top of this, as for instance NS8, which is a great solution of security and fraud on PrestaShop as well. The last tip I will give you, and from my perspective is one of the most important, and it could be just something to drop any solution if it's not, would be to check the PCI compliance of your payment solution. Maybe you have heard a few weeks ago, but Magento has a really bad press because thousands of this website has been provoking a security breach, and a lot of customer credentials has been stolen, and it's been really, really, really hard for this merchant. And the last thing you want as a merchant is to manage that kind of bad press and kind of customer which has been seen their credentials stolen from a hacker. So this information of PCI compliance, it is available on the add-ons product page, on the website of any solution, on the gateway if there is one here on PayPlug, if it's PCI compliance. And if it's not, you should run away because that could create some security breach. Before to conclude, I would like to talk to you about a certain solution we do have in PrestaShop. In the few years we have on payment with PrestaShop, we have gathered all these tips I gave you today, and we had the ambition to create the best solution that could respond to as many tips as possible that I just shown you. So we've launched a year ago PrestaShop Checkout, which is not totally corresponding to all tips I've shown before. But for instance, there is no installment or vaulting credit card or pay later option. But a lot of tips I gave you today are included in PrestaShop Checkout, as well as secure part of it, the multiple payment methods, the negotiate rate if you are processing a big volume, etc. But I will let you see more information on the .com page checkout on the or the product page on the add-ons marketplace about this solution, which is the official solution of PrestaShop. But you have also a lot of really good solution of our partners or not on the add-ons marketplace. Well, this is the end of the tips I gave you, the 16 tips I gave you for your payments today. And I think we have a few minutes left if you want to ask a few questions in the public chat. I will try as possible to give you some answer to about payments. We have a first question, which is when will be PrestaShop Checkout available in Mexico? So it's a really good question. As we have built PrestaShop Checkout on a PayPal brand new solution, which is called PayPal e-commerce platform, which is allowing nowadays to have up to 10 or 12 payment solutions at the same time according to countries. This is something which has been launched in Europe and in Americas, and we are expecting and we are attending that they are launching this same solution in Mexico. And as soon as a PayPal commerce platform is launched in Mexico, we will launch as well PrestaShop Checkout in Mexico, and make sure that we will warn you at the time.
Thank you, Alexandre. Thank you. I think we don't have any other questions on the chat, but feel free to write down all your questions and we will make sure to answer it. Thank you again, Alexandre. I think you're right.
No, I have a last queries for the attendees. As we are building today the roadmap, the product roadmap for any payment solution on the next 12 or 24 years. If you have any pain points or subjects that you feel every day on your with your business with the PrestaShop ecosystem, so any solution in PrestaShop ecosystem or any solution you don't find, please write down on the public chat, and I will make sure that it will come into our roadmap for the 12 or 24 next month.
Cool. Thank you. So if you have any questions, feel free to write it down. And Alexandre, wish you good luck and hope to see you on the other webinar.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you for organizing this e-commerce week, which is really thrilling.
Thank you. I'm gonna give you actually an appointment for the next presentation. So tomorrow it's 3 with Antoine Thomas, who will talk about open source, and at 4 with Colin, who will talk about PrestaShop 1.7.7, what's new for merchants. So let's meet there. And I want to also thank our sponsors, PayPal, Criteo, and Peak Digital, who sponsored this speech. See you. Bye.